Hello, everyone. Hello, greetings, and welcome to Wonderful Wednesday. This is our hump day of this week. There's no other hump day this week. It's Wednesday, the 19th of May, and I'm Jake Johansson. Welcome aboard. Good to see you. I hope you're not bored. Feeling pretty good today. I did jiu-jitsu. Normally my schedule had been on, well, we'll see. Normally my schedule for jiu-jitsu had been Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, but this week I wanted to go today on Wednesday, so I'm going to go 5 days this week, unless I feel so debilitated when I wake up tomorrow or Friday that I can't go. And I don't think that's going to happen. I'm feeling pretty good. And, turn this down. Oh, that's not the turn it down button. There we go. So who's here? Oh, hello, Keith, Sue, Amy, Flavia, greetings, Rachel, Joan, Pick, hello. So here we go. Dave, hello, sup on that paddleboard. So Sister Sue is here. We just got a text right before the show, or I just saw the text right before the show from our mother, who's going to have a pacemaker put in. That's where we're at in our lives. People are getting pacemakers. Carol, good to see you. Ohio. Christopher, yes, hello. So we're all here. We're up for it. We're up for the show. Got the Mevo's back in shape, so we're doing our camera work. Isn't that fun? Yeah, it pops out to the big shot, zooms into the tiny shot. Awesome. So I was going to look up an animal for today, but then I didn't. I was going to look up what was the cockroaches, because they're survivors. But then I thought I just can't compare us to cockroaches. I just can't. I'm sure that we have something in common with them, but I can't. So then I want to say I Googled, but I didn't Google because I did it on the Kindle, and they have their own Silk browser, and so I'm not even sure who is the when you go on the Silk browser, who do you Google? I guess you do. I guess when I put something into the browser, does it Google me, or is this some kind of other Kindle browser that I'm hooked up to? Oh, I think I might be using the Bing browser. Oh, how does a thing like that happen? But I Googled optimistic animal just to find... Because what else are you going to do? It's hump day, everybody. We're in the middle of this. We're in the thick of it, as they say. Dave, you're saying it's finally ball sweating hot in Ohio? Congratulations. I think I'm happy for you. Choked a little bit. What have I done with Belinda, Raven is asking. Well, I'm not sure. I think she still loves me. I do see her every day. We sleep together. I've got the hiccups now. But she's been a little bit busy with the videos that she's making on her own for her Instagram, her environmental videos, and then she does a show on KGO radio with Mark Thompson on Thursday. So she's been busy doing that, and she's got friends and a life. So my ability to get her to come in here and do the show as the pandemic enters whatever stage we can say that it is. It's a new kind of a stage of the pandemic where people can be mad at you for wearing a mask or mad at you for not wearing a mask, and now the risk is lower because I don't think I'm in danger because I have the vaccine for the virus, but I don't always know what the mask rules are. So I tend to mask up if I'm around people, and then sometimes people can, what are you wearing your mask for? But more often it's like, Lady Jerry, Belinda and I went out to see Fanula's basketball game on Monday, and Belinda was very upset. Like, that lady in front of us should be wearing her mask, but she's not. And I was like, look, we're the closest people to her, and we're 10 feet away. And we're vaccinated. I'm not a cop. I just can't get into it. So so I didn't get into it. Um, okay, where now I'm. So that's what happened to Belinda. I think Fanula. So big news about Fanula. The JV has had their last game, but Fanula has been asked to practice for the rest of the year with the varsity team, and they have a game today. There, it's the varsity's last game today, and so that's going to be at 6 p.m. And Lady Jerry, Belinda, and I will be going to that, and hopefully she'll get a little bit of time. Rich, you're getting dizzy from the camera work. Yeah, well. David, Bing has a good text reader. Howdy from Charlotte. Yes, howdy to you in Charlotte. That's my aunt's name, Dave, so I was a little bit confused because we usually read a letter from Grandma on Tuesdays, and so my aunt comes up a lot. But I get it now. You're in Charlotte, North Carolina. Good. It is North Carolina, isn't it? Good to see you, Dave. It's a big commitment to do this every day, and for that you applaud me, Carol. Well, thank you. I applaud all of you who are here every day getting me through it. Sharon, thanks for the compliment on my shirt. R.I.P. Charles Grodin. Oh, Carol, I hadn't heard about Charles Grodin. R.I.P. Charles Grodin, of course. Oh God, someone else died that I was going to mention today, and I can't say his name right now, but it'll come up. If you're not a fan of this temperature, Chris, I get it. Rachel, you went for a walk today and everyone was maskless, smiling, saying hi to each other in the path, and it was so great. Gave you such a sense of hope and optimistic overall. Yeah, that's how I'm choosing to feel. This whole, we're vaccinated, we're safe. If other people don't want to wear masks, I'm okay with it. I put it on if I'm going in someplace and they say you got to wear a mask. I'm doing all the things. Jen, you're here and maybe slightly impaired. Well, I hope this is alcohol related. Which is a weird thing to say, but I hope you're enjoying your day. How about that? Sister Sue saying people seem to be masking up by her in Chicago. Interesting. What? Oh, God. Siri wants to do things for me on my phone. Paul Mooney. Yes, Ed, that's who I meant to say. Paul Mooney. I watched a hilarious video of Paul Mooney talking about back when The Last Samurai came out and how outrageous it was that Tom Cruise was the last samurai and that Brad Pitt was the Mexican, and then he had a joke about Tom Hanks. You'll have to Google it, but it was right on target. Classic Paul Mooney. Made me laugh, made me smile right before noon jiu-jitsu. You're 9 seltzers in today, Dave. Congratulations to you, and happy hump day. Good maskers here in Washington too, Flavia. Yeah, well, I'm wearing it when people are wearing it, and if people aren't wearing it, I'm taking it off. Penguins hockey at 50% capacity, mask but still awesome. I bet, Joan. I had a friend invite me to go to an A's game, but I'm just I'm not interested in going to see Major League Baseball in a stadium anymore. Too expensive. Seats aren't so great. The beers are too expensive. You get a better view of the game watching it on TV. I'd rather pay for the Major League Baseball package and drink my own beers and eat pizza at home. That's where I'm at with Major League Baseball. Please let them know. Ed, you're lucky enough to see Paul Mooney a couple of times over the years. Yeah, well, good for you, Ed. I never got to see him live, sadly, because I was always working live, and I wasn't in the places where he was live, but I would have liked to have met him. Nothing like misplacing a credit card to totally mess with your mind. Oh, God, I hate that, Flavia. You've searched high and low, and you put it back in your wallet. Well, yeah, the only thing worse than not being able to find your credit card is finding it right after you've called the credit card company to cancel it. So my wish is that you'll find it before that happens. All right. Now you have to walk around in the driveway in case somehow you dropped it. Yeah, Flavia, well, walking around the driveway, it's not the end of the world. So I Googled, I binged optimistic animals, and I found this out. Dogs are optimistic animals. They have a very positive attitude. And but they did another study where they were talking about pigs and what made pigs optimistic or pessimistic, and it definitely had to do with if the pigs had more room in their pen, they were more optimistic. And if they were getting nicer food, they were more optimistic. So the better you treat yourself, the more optimistic you're able to be. So there's something to be said for faking it till you make it with optimism, but there's another thing to be said for, look, take care of yourself. Give yourself a little room. Keep yourself warm, except unless you're swimming in the cold ocean for therapy or taking ice baths. But take care of yourself. And that's going to help you be optimistic. So if you're feeling a little negative, do something nice for yourself, and turn that shit around. Okay. Dogs have the best attitude. They do have positive attitudes, Flavia. I used to have a joke in my act about a three-legged dog. You see a three-legged dog, doesn't even faze the dog. He's just going for it. 3 legs, he doesn't care. Guess I got 3 now. He's going for it. Whereas if I lost my leg, you'd have to hear that story every time I had 2 beers. You're saying your mom had a cognitive test the other day, and she was told to name 15 animals. She named llama and lamb twice and never mentioned penguins. Well, I wouldn't call that an epic fail, but I feel like all of us today are not going to make that mistake because we got penguins on the brain right now. There's so many different kinds of penguins too, and I don't think they're creepy like otters. Eeyore isn't very optimistic. No, Eeyore is not very optimistic, but that's just the way he's written. You can't argue with that. Do I know or like Stuart Lee or Tim Minchin? A. Whitney Brown? You'd like, I suspect funny people are healers. Hey, David, thanks. Well, I met Stuart Lee about that long when I was in London a few years ago. I did a gig for, I think it was a week or 2 weeks at the Soho Theater, and Stuart Lee one night was coming on to do a show after me, and I had seen him online, his comedy online, and we had some mutual friends, but we just had a very brief conversation. So I do like Stuart Lee. Tim Minchin, I've never met in person, but I'm a massive, Tim Minchin is so great. So anyone who's watching right now, do some Googling, listen to some Tim Minchin song parodies, or go see Matilda, the musical. I think that's Tim Minchin. Tim Minchin is amazing, funny, great. A. Whitney Brown is a San Francisco comedian and former writer, performer on Saturday Night Live. But I did gigs with A. Whitney Brown when I was just starting, and he was already an established headliner in the Bay Area. So funny, A. Whitney Brown. Or should I call him the Whitney Brown, as he used to call himself in his act. A. Whitney Brown, great. I can't go see him anymore. I think he's not dead, but he's not performing. Carol, I like that you gave him Flavia directions about where she might find her card. Under the car seat, yeah, I like that. In between the door and the seat, falls out of your pocket there. Yeah, okay. In between the seat and the console, yeah, I like it. Rachel, you're saying you're getting emails from Comedy Works in Denver telling you that they are open and they have comedy shows starting up this week. Well, Rachel, as soon as I'm able to get back, my stage legs back, I'm going to book a weekend if there are any available at the Comedy Works in Denver. Yesterday I had lunch with Christella, and she was not able to stay to do the show because she had a meeting of her own afterwards. But she's going to Dallas in late June. Unfortunately for me, I said, I'll go with you just to get the stage time. And she said, yeah, I think I can get you a plane ticket and you could stay in the hotel. We can hang out and I'd do stage time. I was like, I would definitely do that. We would have so much fun. But it is during the 2 weeks when we're out picking up the camper. So first you don't have anything to do, and now you got 2 things to do at the same time. What are you going to complain about? There's so many choices to complain about things, but I'm not complaining. I'm optimistic. Look how close I have this delicious chocolatey drink here. All right. Flavia, you're saying you think squirrels are very optimistic. Yeah, I think, squirrels are definitely, they know how to have a good time. These squirrels chasing each other around, we can hear them. They'll drop from the neighbor's giant tree that we had trimmed. They'll drop off that tree onto our roof and then chase each other around. I mean, fortunately, they sleep when it's dark, so we don't have to deal with that at night. But often, that's what wakes you up in the morning is this thud, chasing each other off the roof. And then if you're outside, you can see them. They tear across the roof, and one of them will dive into a tree. I don't think it's they're looking to fight. I think it's sexual. But then again, I'm no expert on squirrels. Keith, I like that one. Lock your dog and your wife in the trunk and come back in a couple hours and see who's happy to see you. Yeah, I don't think we need to run that experiment. I think all of us know how that's going to come out. All right. Facebook memory today was a pic of you, Keys, and a friend on a mountain bike race. Your friend remembered how you would yell unflattering names as they went by. A fellow spectator told me that my friends probably don't appreciate that, to which I said, oh, trust me, they love it. Yeah, well, you got to hang out with the right friends, Keith. Sounds like you got that figured out. Oh, Jen, you're bummed that I'm not coming to Dallas. Well, I may get another opportunity to come to Dallas. I'm just not coming during the time when I would have been able to come if I didn't have to go pick up this camper. Pick, you're saying there are penguins everywhere in your house. Mom opens her eyes and sees penguins. She goes to the bathroom and sees penguins. She dries her hands and penguin towels. How could she not think of penguins? I don't know. But this is now this cognitive test thing is getting even more sad in light of the fact that your mom is a penguin person. Maybe she hates those penguins. This is what happens. My mom became an owl person for a while because she had owls. People. Once you have a few owls, then people see that you have owls and they start buying you more owls, and then you got owls all in your hand. You got to throw them all away. It's either owls or cows or penguins or whatever you got, giraffes or, toys. I mean, once people see that you got toys, then they start giving you toys all the time. And what am I supposed to do with this Game of Thrones Tyrion Lannister toy? I don't know. Lady Jerry gave it to me. Can't really throw it away. Don't want to throw it away, but also don't really need it. If I was able to, I'm sorry, disappeared from view here. If I was able to figure out someone who wanted that Tyrion Lannister more than me, I would offer it to them. Well, fun meter. This thing is still working. Check that out. Maximum. All right. Let's take my temperature. Although I feel pretty good today. I thought I would be a little sore from all the jiu-jitsu. 97.7, I'm fine. Joan, you like collecting money. Yeah, I think that's a good thing to collect. Carol, you're saying Adam Sandler saw penguins when he was drunk in one of his movies. Billy Madison, they're all the same. Well, his similars are sort of similar. Sister Sue is saying, yeah, our mom got owled. She didn't really want owls, but she got owled. Once you have an owl and people see it, then you might get a second owl. And if you got 3 owls, holy shizzy. All your friends are going to give you owls, and that's going to be a problem. These are problems that you can have as an adult. So maybe you need to get rid of those penguins. What else was I going to talk about today? How about a question from the question box? My brain is so tiny. Today's question from the question box, and then maybe there'll even be more than one. What is your favorite board game? I don't have a favorite board game. I am not a game person. I don't like going to game night. We had been, I would say, what game, if you ask me what board game have I played most in the last 10 years, the answer to that would be Settlers of Catan, which was because it was recommended to me by Jackie Cation, a very funny comedian. And we got it to play with the family, and I thought someday we would play with her, but I just never really got into it, and we never played it really straight from the beginning. So Settlers of Catan, I always thought I was going to get good at chess, and then I'm not so interested in chess. Belinda's now playing this word game on the New York Times where they give you these letters, and you have to make as many words with the letters that they have, and you have to use the letters that in the middle of the circle. You have to use that. So she's loving that. Jen, you have a thing for owls. It's an old lady trait, though. Well, I don't know about that. Ed, your 28-year-old daughter in New York City, Harlem, just got her second dose today. With that, Your whole family is 100% vaccinated. Congratulations. Pick, you're saying Monopoly is your favorite board game? Yeah, I guess I played Monopoly a few times. That's probably second in the board games that I've played. Pass Out, Carol, is that a game? I like it. Um, Sister Sue likes Exploding Cats as a card game, but it could be because you're always drinking when you're playing it. Yeah. Oh, what's that other one? There's a left right center game where you roll these dice and you have chips, or you can play with quarters or dollar bills, and you have to give a dollar or take a dollar from the person to your left, right, and center. And that's a game that I've enjoyed when I've been drinking. It's completely a game of chance, and so those are the best kind of gambling games to play when you've been drinking. That's why I don't like to play blackjack in Las Vegas, because they give you free drinks, but it impairs your ability to play. Whereas craps, if you stick to just the basic pass, don't pass, and cover your odds, you can be sort of drunk and still function playing craps. And that's your life coach moment of the day. When you're in Vegas and you're planning on getting hammered, you should play craps, because you could be pretty drunk and still not screw up. All right. Wow, Keys, you and Dave are having a talk about smoking? Wow. Wow, Dave, you're fixing to shoot a hole in his boat. Yeah, it seems naughty. It seems naughty if you're out there on in your kayak or whatever, smoking weed and you're not sharing it. Mr. Predicto, fan favorite. Mr. Predicto, is it okay to not share your weed with your fellow sailors?
Definitely yes.
Mr. Predicto, sort of a jerk. No, you're not allowed to answer another question. Carol, you're saying pass out is like Monopoly, but when you land on things, you have to take a shot, and when you pass go, you have to read a tongue twister. Okay, that sounds like a weird game. It's like being pulled over by the cops when you're drunk and do a sobriety test, but you don't really get in trouble. Or if the cop said, "Hey, it's time for you to move to the passenger seat," I can't even talk just talking about it, drinking. Time for you to move to the passenger seat and take a shot. I'm going to drive you home from here. That's what I meant for the police to say to you. Yeah, bring Pass Out to Jake Fest. Okay, so we've got a lot of fun things that could happen at Jake Fest. You guys are going to have to work among yourselves to figure out where Jake Fest is going to be, because it's a little complicated, because I don't know if everybody's going to be able to travel and where the best spot is. You have to keep drinking until you read the tongue twister correctly? Oh, that could be a long night. Laura, you got here just in time for the ending. Well, hello to you from Miami. Oh, Miami. Miami seems like a fun place, although Florida seems kooky, but why not? Bunko is a good game of chance, but drinking would make keeping score hard, yeah. Okay. Delicious. There's a little protein in there. What else can we do? Well, I can ask another question. We can go right to... We don't have to go to Seize the Day just yet. Let's have another question. Mr. Predicto, you're back in the penalty box, I can tell you that. Which do you enjoy most, music, television, or movies? I think television. I think I enjoy television the most. But I have to say, if I had to give up... if I could only keep one, it would be music. I'd give up television and movies for music. But I think the one that I enjoy the most is television right now. But that also includes those mini-type series. We thought Mayor of Easttown was over after 5 episodes because, spoiler alert, some shit happened that makes you think it's over. But then found out there's 2 more episodes, so that's exciting. And who doesn't like a 7-episode miniseries? Speaking of craps, you're either win or lose with 7. Dave, you're saying, have you or would you do a TV sitcom? If so, what would you like your character to be like? Well, I have done some TV sitcoms that were pilots for shows that were developed with me, kind of for me. One of them was I had a house and I let a friend move in who was a bit of a pushy guy when his house was being remodeled, and then his house was destroyed in a mudslide. So then they were going to have to live with me in perpetuity. Wah, wah, wah. That was the premise of that show, based on something that had happened to the writers, Stein and Isles. And then I developed a show where I was working in a focus group for a toy company with a bunch of kids. Then I developed a show where a friend and I were guys who were trying to, it was during that John Bly bang on a drum, go out in the woods thing. We were guys who were going to be manly men, but not really very good at it. And then I did a show called The Duplex, where it was me and another kind of buddy who was a little more pushy, and I was kind of getting bulldozed by him. Now, if I was going to do a sitcom, I think I would have to be the... I mean, look, I'm not the romantic lead. Nobody wants to watch me go on Tinder dates at the tender age of 60 years old. So I think now it would have to be either some, like, I don't even think I can do it would be grandkids. I'd have grandkids, but then I don't know if I look old enough to have grandkids. So I don't know. I like me as the neighbor. I think I really, the neighbor or one of the other, the lawyer who can't quite get it together at the law firm. I'd like to be on one of those hour cop shows where I'm the detective who is always, I've got unconventional methods, but I'm solving the case. Meanwhile, the macho punch him out, shoot him up cop is the main character. I'm just one of the other joke characters. Or the second Bananas husband. It's Cagney and Lacey, but I'm one of their husbands or grandpas. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Maybe I'm running a dog grooming business. Nigel and I had this idea for a business where we drive around in a van full of puppies to cheer people up. You could have a puppy, the puppy van would come to your house, and you could just come out and get in the van and roll around with a bunch of puppies for an hour to make yourself happy. I did pitch that as a kind of a reality show, the Puppy Van Show. But we never got that off the ground. Still time. What'd you say, Ed? You were surprised to learn how many pilots that are shot are never picked up. It's almost like the failure rate in software startups. Maybe it's not quite that bad, but yeah, I would say it's the amount that are shot and not picked up has got to be over 90%. Better Call Saul is already out there. Yeah, I do know that, Keys, but he's a criminal. I'm not going to be a criminal. I'm going to be anyway. We're still making our way through Better Call Saul. Love Bob Odenkirk. Jen, you're hungry. What are you eating? Keys, you don't even know what you're eating. You have to ask Uma. Well, you're an old school gentleman. It's time now, I think, for Seize the Day. And we'll be back tomorrow for some ancient aliens in the Bible. But right now, seize the day. Let's seize this thing. Let's seize the day. Oh, Rachel, what are you saying? They brought puppies to the library during finals week when your daughter was in college? Oh, that's nice. So what do we have here? Oh, you heard a story on NPR about the puppy channel? Yeah, I had heard that too. Pick. Carol, Billy Bob as a lawyer in Goliath. It is very good. It is very good. I do recommend Goliath. Today's Seize the Day is from Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa. Heard of her? She doesn't need a puppy to cheer her up. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow has not yet come. We have only today. Let us begin. Mother Teresa. You know, that's a pretty good seize the day, Mother Teresa. Who am I to criticize Mother Teresa? Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow's not yet come. We have only today. Let us begin. That's the kind of thing that you say over your morning. What do you think Mother Teresa has in the morning? Coffee? tea or some kind of just warm water with a little bit of lemon in it. Or maybe she just rolls her eyes up to heaven and says that to one of the other nuns or nunlets. Nate Bergatz invited you to his pilot that they shot in 2019. It was really pretty good, certainly better than other stuff that's on the air, but still didn't get picked up. No, you don't understand the brains of network executives. Let me tell you, me neither. Me neither. And like I've said before, they're thinking around the clock of new ways to hurt your feelings. But yeah, you can get not picked up. The reason that your pilot doesn't get picked up can be for the reason that everyone assumes, which is it sucks. But more often, it's some other weird thing, like the network executive in charge left while your pilot was getting made, and so the new network executive doesn't want to put a show on that the last guy who just got fired made, because then why did they hire me if his show is on and it's actually good? So it can, all kind of weird things can happen. Or they don't like one of the writer producers on your show, so they don't pick it up. Oh, don't get me started. But then again, excuses. Everyone's got one. And I'm sure, don't leave home without one. Don't leave home without one. Good luck finding all your credit cards today. Key's Mother Teresa back in the day was a real hottie. I believe it. Weren't we all? Weren't we all hotties back in the day? But that's no reason to give up. Just because you're not still a hottie. You're a hottie in your heart. You're a hottie in here. You're always a hottie in here. Don't give up. There'll be plenty of time to give up later. Take care of yourselves. Be nice to a jerk. And try and stay optimistic. At least until tomorrow.